Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the market close. We're back. It's a good Wednesday afternoon. We're having a pretty good green market. So you got to love that. It's always nice to have green after a couple of red days. Looking at Monday and Tuesday, oh boy, there was definitely some buying opportunities, and I did take advantage of that for sure. So hopefully you guys did as well. I definitely want to hear about what you guys have been spending your investing money on over the big dip. So we'll of course see. We're going to take a look at the markets. We got the bell. We're going to talk a little bit about the inauguration that's coming up. We're going to talk about those darn tariffs. So those tariffs are coming up, and how are they going to affect us? Are we going to get them? That's a good question. So we got a lot of different things that we're going to look at today, of course. And in addition to all of that, we, of course, have all of your questions. Ooh, and I got a surprise. I have a surprise. I got a little sneak peek of something that we're going to take a look at as well. So this is going to be a fun one. This is going to be a good one for sure. I do want to point out, if you guys are looking for a Friday market close for supers, that happens as well. If you notice that big thing up at top that says the bomb, well, that's the countdown to the bomb. So if we get to 25 supers before the end of the month, I'm going to be taking a full teaspoon of this right on the air. It'll be fun for you guys. It'll be a little bit, it won't be as fun for me, but well, it'll be fun after the fact. All right, let's very quickly, guys, let's get into the market. All right, so as you guys can see, it's green right across the board. That's nice to see. The TSX right now up 0.94%. And you can see we're just pretty much breaking even on the month. So these red days certainly had their impact for sure, but we're slowly coming up. And right now we're in a green hour, so hopefully that pushes up a little bit further. The S&P 500 is up today 1.92%, but they're still on a red month. They got a little ways before they get to that blue bar. And guys, those of you who are new, this blue bar, I started at the beginning of the month, and this tells us where we need to be to get to a red month. So on top of the bar, it can tell us where we need to be to get a red month. But if we're on top of the bar, we have a green month. Under the bar, like right now on the S&P 500, we got ourselves a red month. The NASDAQ doing good, up 2.49%, and they're in green month territory right now. They are above the bar. So let's keep that going. And I did say I would add it for the Dow Jones. Dow Jones is also, look at this, they gapped a little bit today, and they're nicely sitting well above the blue bar. So it's looking good. Gold up 0.68%, silver 2.79%, Ethereum, let's not skip Bitcoin. Bitcoin up 3.19%. So, look at that, almost pushing back to that 100K. Ethereum's having a good day. Ethereum's up 6.63%. So that's not too shabby. All right, guys, let's take a look at the heat map. I like this. I like this. We got a whole lot of green in here. We got alimentation couche-tard sitting up there at 1.55%. So that's not too shabby. We got routers here up 1.73, Constellation Software up 2.17, Sun Life Financial up a good 2.23, Manulife Financial also up 2.57. So it's looking good. It's looking pretty good. Let's switch over to the US. I like this. Nvidia up 3.36%. Look at this. It's a good tech day. I mean, Google's up 3.12, Microsoft 2.74, Meta 4.18. Nice. Amazon 2.39. And look at Tesla over here. Tesla up a good 7.98%. And heading into crypto, we got a lot of green. Like, look at this. Bitcoin's up 3.14, Ethereum 6.57, Solana up 8.27, not too shabby, and XRP up a full 10.45%. Oh my God, guys. I don't know if anyone's told you this lately, but there's more than 15,000 crypto coins out there. And a lot of them are small, and a lot of them are what I like to call those little crap coins. So we're gonna just grab one. We're gonna grab one, and we'll take a look at it. Let's see what we got this time. Niver World. So while Bitcoin's rising and everybody else is doing well, this one's not. This one's sort of drilling itself down into obscurity. It's not even worth a cent. It's worth like 0.06 of a cent. So not a great coin. Don't know what it does. To be honest, I don't actually care what it does. It's a crap coin. Guys, stay away from these. Please. If you want to get into crypto, nothing wrong with it. I think crypto's a wonderful market, but stick to the good coins. Stick to the ones that are tried and proven. Your Bitcoins, your Ethereum, and even the Dogecoin. Even the Dogecoin is a much safer bet. So, oh boy. All right. Now, normally I go straight to the chat at this point, but I want to show you something very, very quickly. Guys, this is the beta. This is the beta of the Blossom desktop version. So it's coming. Like, not everything is functional right now, but right now here's beginner investors, here's market news. So you can definitely, you can do it all on your desktop. Now, right now, I think beta is only available for pro users and ambassadors, I think. But it's going to roll out soon, and they're going to get a lot more functionality. But this is where it is going, so that those of you who do like to do things on your desktop are going to have an option for it. So this is it. This here is, let's go to the home page here. Here's my home page. And then, yeah, you can see this is the beta. This here is the beta. Let's see if I can find any of you guys here. J Finance. That's Blossom. Normally, Enid is almost always here. So now there's Brandon Beavis. There we go. Liam Meany, Avran Man, Beskar Capital. Okay, yeah. Well, anyway, guys, what's beautiful about this is I can show you a little bit more Blossom now, nice and easy. So if you have not yet tried Blossom, down below there is a link. It's my Blossom affiliate link. If you head over there, download the app. It doesn't cost you a penny. It does support the channel because I get a tiny, like seriously, a really small kickback when you guys sign up. But it's a great little app for sure. And now it's a great desktop app. So I'll be able to play a little bit more with it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. All right. We'll leave Blossom for the moment, and we're going to head on over here and check out the chat. All right. Starting off with Anchor, we got a good afternoon. Jersky saying, hello, Green Day, let's go. Jordan's in the house. Hello, Jordan. Good afternoon, all. Hope everything is okay with everyone. Yeah, absolutely. Stan's in the house with a hello, all. We got afternoon all from Cowboy. Let's see. I picked up a bunch of QQCL and CNR. Oh, well, CNR. That was there was some nice sales going on with CNR. That's for sure. I'll tell you, I actually I got some Bird Construction pretty cheap as they were, as they were down quite a bit in this dip. So I got into Bird Construction. A few others. That's just the one that pops up on my mind at the moment. JJ is saying, boop, beep. All right. Anchor says, I've pulled close to 50K out of the market in anticipation of what's potentially to come, primarily in bank stocks. Okay. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of worry with the with that inauguration. I mean, even if we get a Trump pump, we could get a situation where you get a Trump pump on one side of the border and a Trump kick in the market on the other side. And that all has to do with those tariffs. And we'll talk more about the tariffs on the other side of the bell. How do you feel about carbon tax Carney? I don't know a lot about him, to be honest. I don't think, I know that Poilievre is sort of painting him as being kind of like almost a Justin Trudeau clone. I don't think he is. I think he actually understands finances a lot more than Justin Trudeau. So, but yeah, I kind of wish he wasn't so pro on that carbon tax. But, we'll have to see what happens. As it is now, the Liberal leadership, we're starting to get more and more people are dropping out. So we're starting to get an idea of who is in the field. So is it going to just be a big battle between him, Chrystia Freeland, and Karina Gould? Those seem to be the three front runners at the moment. So Larry says, I've been so impatient this week having to take 50 cent to 70 cent plays instead of my normal dollar plays. Chip opportunities with TSMC tomorrow. Get more Intel, NVIDIA, and Baba this week. Well, here's the thing, Larry. If you're only getting 50 cent plays or 70 cent plays, it's still better than getting no plays at all. So sometimes the market is not that forgiving, but sometimes you gotta chip. You gotta chip away. Paul is in the house with a hello. And we got Mary in the house. Guys, Mary's in the house. That means it's time to hit that like button. Well, I'm going to have a sip of coffee here. Jordan wants to know if I could look up Seahorse in crypto. Sure. What we'll do here is we'll actually go over to, where am I going? I have no clue where I'm going. There we go. Resource sites. CoinGecko. All right. And we're looking for Seahorse. Let's see here. Seahorse. Here we are. Seahorse or Seahorses. Let's see. Well, there's also a Seahorse. So we'll go to just Seahorse opposed to Seahorses. Just keep my eye on the time here. Verifying you are human. Okay. Woohoo. I passed a human test. Let's see here. This is not worth a lot. It's another one of these little guys. It's a crap coin. It's a crap coin. Now, when I say a crap coin, that's just a general term, right? It doesn't mean that all crap coins are going to absolutely disappear. Like everybody starts kind of, I guess most crypto projects start as a crap coin and then they until they're not anymore. Let's see here. Let's put this over here on the 4 hour. Okay, so at one point, oh yeah, it's kind of interesting. It looks like they're fairly new. They're not that old. Yeah, it's an interesting looking. Yeah, what's going on with that, Jordan? Let me know what is going on with you and Seahorse, because I'm just looking at it, I'm like, oh gosh, I'm not seeing a lot of hope right now. Like it's pretty darn flat. But I need to know what it does. And I always say this, guys, if you are interested in like a smaller coin, read the white paper, know what it does, make sure that it makes sense to actually, put some money into it. All right. Larry says, let's see. Most of the energy shippers have recovered 20 to 30% in the past 2 weeks. Oh, guys, I just realized something. Let me pull this up here. Um, we were looking, we were looking at this coin, Seahorse, and I didn't have my screen shared. Oh boy. Ah, that's on me. That's on me. But yeah, you can sort of see that it isn't really that old, and it had a little bit of excitement initially. Um, it's kind of almost like it almost looks like a pump and dump, but I'm not going to say that that's what it is. But yeah, it hasn't had a lot of momentum yet. So it'll be interesting to see where that goes. Let's see. Jersky says U.S. banks took a jump up today. Yes, that's part of the reason for the excitement in the market. The U.S. banks came in stronger than expected with their earnings, and that's got the market pretty happy. Guys, it is time for the bell. All right, here we go. Woohoo! Market is now closed. There we go. You gotta love it. All right, Ian says, I got a bunch of dividends dropping tonight. Would have been nice if this bump would have waited until Friday. I guess I should just be happy it's green today. Yeah. Well, and this is that thing. I mean, if we get these tariffs on Monday, the market may respond. We could have a red day. Like we could potentially have a red day here on Monday and a green day on the U.S. market. So it's going to be very interesting. Ian says, let's see, I do have Blossom Pro, but I don't have a computer. Okay, fair enough. Max R is in the house with a hello, everyone. Guy says, hello, Candace. So you're liking BlackBerry? Yeah, I am. I am liking BlackBerry. Like right now, BlackBerry, and this is weird. Like if you had asked me 2 years ago, do you think you'll ever be on the, investing in BlackBerry? Or I would have probably said, I would have said no. I would have said no. But BlackBerry is in that really unique, especially when it comes to quantum security. I think BlackBerry's positioned well. So I will even say, I wasn't going to say it until the video comes out, but I'll say it. I did grab some BlackBerry for the 0 to 100K. So BlackBerry is in there. Michael says, hello, Candace. Bird was a good choice. I still have some and got in at about $9, believe it or not, and sold some last year. Yeah, I love Bird. That's why I was like, ooh, I can get some at a little bit of a cheaper price. So I was happy with that. I also got I got some HMM. So HMM.A while it was on sale. So yeah, not too shabby. Elmeo says, yay for a green day. We got Bleak in the house with a hey all. Let's see. Tell us 1968. Glad I don't own that anymore. Oh boy. Yeah. Telus, Rogers, Bell. It's like those are those stocks that I don't even want to look at. I don't even want to look at them right now. All right. Larry says it was all Intel 1870 to 1950 and NVDX 1310 to 14 all week. I was worried on selling, then it jumping up. I'm holding each till tomorrow sometime. Okay. 9 says only stick to Bitcoin for crypto. The good old Bitcoin. Who even is Karina Gold? Never really heard much about her, let alone letting her be in the leadership race. She's the Liberal House leader. If you watch like Question Period, you'll see her every so often. But yeah, she's not like a big name, but actually in the Liberal Party, if your name isn't as well known, that might actually be a selling point. All right. Harold says, picked up some QQCL myself. I think the fees are kind of high, but hoping the returns will be worth it. Yeah, hopefully. Jordan says, it was created by a friend of mine that streams. I was just wondering what it had done. Well, so far it hasn't done a lot. But hopefully your friend has a plan. Hopefully. You know, and even though it's your friend, there should be a white paper that you can sort of read. All right. Ian says, it's funny how your live streams have good information and no profanity. If I did a live stream, it would be the complete opposite. Oh boy. Yeah, yeah. I try to keep the I'm trying to think if there's ever been any profanity on the channel. Actually, yes. The Tim Danter once said the S word on the channel. So there has been some profanity, but not much, not much. And that was just a little slip. MFA moving up slow. Let's take a look here at MFA. All right. So MFA Financial, here we go. Well, they're up 2.18% today, Michael. That's not too shabby, not too shabby. But then again, look, they're down too. So you got to kind of, it's one of these things when you look at how well a stock is doing today, you have to take into consideration that bang, they had a red day and they sort of pushed them down. So if you think about it in a way, they're only up a tiny bit, really. If you sort of, you know, most of it's just recovery from that little dip. But, you know, and that's not MFA. That's everybody. All right. Let's see. Paul says, Candace, you have online casino ads on your browser. Really? Oh. Okay. Well, not anymore. It's now gone. I have no control over what browser that TMX decides to use. And it's funny. Like, the ads, like those of you who see ads on the channel, I have no control over what ads pop up. So, you know, if you see like a casino ad or something, it's not my fault. I have no control. See, I can come over on this one here. I can come over. I can close that, but it will open itself back up again. Bird makes clothes. Well, they're more into construction, as far as I know. Let's see. Candace bit Corgi. The new bit ace coin to the moon. There we go. Let's see. That seahorse is priced in Seoul. Oh, I didn't even notice that when we were looking at it. All right. Hi to all not too shabby investors. All right. Yeah, the not too shabby crew. There we go. Let's see. Maybe I am wrong about seahorse priced in Seoul. JJ says, I was surprised the market jumped back up hugely green, like 3%. What caused this? Everything's so expensive again. Well, a couple of things. Like the U.S. side, like I mentioned, bank earnings. Bank earnings came in strong. That got people a bit excited. Also, inflation, the inflation data that came out for the CPI, it came out as expected. So there weren't any real surprises there, which was good for the market. All right. Michael says, let's see. Alpha Min just closed up $1.10, but I was too spooked to average down yesterday. I guess we'll have more opportunities soon. Oh, there's always going to be more opportunities. Always going to be. All right. Another Michael. Well, I got a bunch of Michaels, so I have to keep the Michaels straight. I was asking if Bird makes clothes. Oh, no, Bird does not make. Bird is a construction company. So, for example, over here in Ottawa, they've, in the whole process of getting the rail system set up, Bird had a role in that. So, yeah, Bird is construction. So that's what I'm saying. I don't think they make clothes in any way, shape, or form. Let's see. Paul's asking JJ, which stock did you buy a week ago? Was it MSTY? Paul is very focused on MicroStrategy. So that's not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. All right, guys. One of the things I was thinking about is initially, and this is kind of this whole game that Donald Trump plays. Donald Trump plays this game where he wants something, so he always over asks. He'll always ask you for much more than he actually wants, because then he can basically guide you to what it is he wants. And so with these tariffs, he said, initially he came out and said they're going to be there until the border is secure. And, at that point, you're sort of looking at it, you say, okay, well, yeah, he doesn't want the tariffs. He wants the border. That's what you're thinking. And that's what I was thinking. So I was thinking there's no chance these tariffs are going to happen. But But of course, we find out he wants more. So now he's basically talking about annexing Canada and Greenland and the Panama Canal and all of this stuff. But once again, Donald Trump asks for more than he wants. So in the case of Canada, I don't think he wants to annex Canada. I actually think what he's looking at, I think Kevin O'Leary actually has it right on the fact that I think what he's looking at is he wants more of an economic union with Canada. So one of these situations where we have, two countries with sovereignty, but it'd be a lot like the European Union, where, you would end up working towards like a shared currency between Canada and the United States. And then you would have pretty much a border that's not like a border because you would be able to move goods and people across as needed. And that's kind of where I think he's trying to go. So I think what he's doing is, first of all, let's get Canada scared that we're really gonna, we're gonna. I don't want to say use military. I don't think he'll get to that point, but I think it's just scare Canada, and then we'll come in with what we really want, and maybe at that point, Canada will be a little more open to it, a little more open to an economic union, opposed to becoming that 51st state. So that's what I think he's after. So we'll have to see how that's all going to work out. But what that does mean is that, yeah, that means these tariffs are going to hit. So that's going to happen. We're going to certainly have to figure out what is that going to do. So there will be short term, there will be midterm, and there's also going to be some long-term effects of these. So, I mean, in the short term, we're looking at least on the Canadian side, it will definitely affect the market with some volatility. So we may very well see the market fall in certain areas, especially companies that are, well, heavy export companies. So if a company exports to the US and that's a big part of their business model, that they're going to be hurt. They're going to be hurt on the market big time. So that they will definitely fall. We're also going to be looking at the economy itself. There's going to be a bit of a drag on our GDP right away, because as it is right now, about 25% of the Canadian GDP is coming from exporting. And I'm not talking exporting elsewhere, I'm talking exporting to the United States. So that's going to certainly be an interesting thing. Now, some good news is that there was a lot of warning about this. So a lot of companies in the United States that had a little bit of foresight, they've been basically pulling. They've been ordering, like, heavy ordering from Canada and pulling as much of our materials that they need ahead of time, so that they can get them before the tariffs hit. So that is one thing that we might actually have sort of like a small bump when it comes to, as in a positive bump, as in a little bit more exporting before the tariffs come into effect. Now, we won't know if that's happened, but that would be happening right now if it is happening. And then we could see a little bit of a retraction, of course, once we get to Monday. Now, the longer this goes out, one of the other side effects of that is that Canada's going to start opening up more trade with Asia and with Europe, because, well, we don't have big heavy tariffs. So you could see a little bit more trade moving across the Atlantic, across the Pacific, all of that fun stuff. Now, when it comes to the oil, though, that's what's going to be very interesting, only because the US needs the oil. They need our heavy crude. If they don't get it from us, the next real big location they can get a lot of it from is like Venezuela. And we actually have pipes ready to ship it to them. So it could be very interesting to see what happens with oil, whether or not, initially I think the tariffs will come out on everything immediately. But if he starts to backtrack on a couple of sectors, I think oil has a possibility of getting backtracked on. So we're going to have to see how that all works out. Larry says we will settle for making Quebec speak English. Oh boy. I think now I don't have the exact stats to back this up, Larry, but I would say that probably 60 to 70% of people in Quebec speak English. In addition to French. Now there are places within Quebec, especially if you start to get to rural Quebec, where there are people who only speak French. So you will get that. You will get that for sure. Jonathan missed the bell. Yes, yes, you did miss the bell. Oh boy. All right, 2,000 shares. Kiev and Kaz is in the house with a good afternoon, all. Ankar says part of our national identity is our currency. I don't see where converting the USD differs anything other than symbolic submission to the Americans. That's an interesting thing. I think if it happens, I think what would happen is, and people have floated that word Amero. So it would be a sort of like a separate currency that's kind of like hedged to both dollars. Um, I don't know how it's going to work. We'd have to see how it looks. But it might very well be a situation where you have two currencies. You have sort of like your trade currency that goes across all North America. Well, not all of North America, because I don't think Mexico is in the plans for it. But you would have that, and then of course you would have locally, you would have your own currency. Like at one point, guys, Canada used to have multiple currencies, and you don't even have to go that far back. Like a lot of the banks used to have, and I know that a couple of you are like going, "Oh yeah, Canadian Tire money," but no, we're not talking about that. A lot of the banks used to have their own notes. Like you used to be able to get like a Bank of Nova Scotia dollar. So we used to have like multiple currencies at one point. Uh, it'll be interesting to see how this is going. And like I said, it'll be very interesting to see what the end game is. Now, keep in mind, if the tariffs go on for too long, I mean, this is hurting not just Canada, it's going to hurt a lot of Americans as well. Like there's a lot of jobs in the US that rely on those Canadian exports. And I know, even though he is kind of thinking that he wants to just move those jobs back to the US, but I don't think it's quite as easy as he thinks. So it's going to be interesting. And, you can't go, there's only so far he can go as well before we get to a point where, you know, his own people will be in, I don't want to say revolt, but, there'll be a lot of unrest, I think, if it drags on way too long. All right. Let's see. Jonathan says, originally I thought the tariffs were as real as Mexico paying for the wall. Yeah, kind of exactly. I remember those days. Yes, we're going to put up a great wall and Mexico will pay for it. Yep. Jay says, all I know is someone doesn't like people eating beef. I went grocery shopping for roast beef and the price is $64. Wow. Probably good for two people. Now I'm not craving beef. Yeah. Yeah. There is a movement. There is a movement to say that for sure. Anchor says, yes, we need to diversify our base of trading partners to other countries other than the US. It's not wise to rely on only one primary trading partner. Yeah. I mean, and that's, I think with the US, it's just the fact that they're the biggest economy in the world and they're right next to us. So it's very easy to trade with them. But it never hurts to open up more avenues, and actually trade more with Europe and with Asia. There's a lot of markets over there for sure. JJ says a lot of greater Montreal area only speak French as well, especially in the east end towards Villeneuve and Point aux Trembles or Trembles. Okay, I'm trying. RD says, how important is volume in a stock? Depends on what you're doing with the stock. So if you have a stock that has a higher volume, that simply means that there's a lot more liquidity on that stock. So it moves pretty quickly. So those ones with higher volumes, if you're trading, like if you're doing shorter term trades, so like day trading or swing trading, a good volume is always nice to have. Because if you have a low volume stock, you could get into a situation where you hit a price that you want, that you like, but you can't process. You don't have anyone there to buy it immediately as you're trying to buy in or sell out. That's where volume becomes really, really big. That to me is one of the big things. Now, If you have a low volume, but it's a long-term hold, it's usually not a big problem, especially if their other fundamentals are good. Like you take newer stocks, they'll have a lower volume. Take ETFs, for example. Um, One great example is we did that ETF, one of the subscriber sponsored videos where we looked at an ETF that covered the banks of Australia. Now, it had a low volume, not because there was anything wrong with the ETF, but simply because there's just not enough people that are thinking, there's a lot of Canadian investors who it may never cross their minds to get an ETF that covers the banks of Australia. So things like that, more niche type ETFs are going to have lower volumes as well. Also, some newer stocks will have lower volumes. Um, Also, keep in mind that you could potentially have a really good stock that's nobody's selling. That you're getting people buying, but nobody's really selling it, and that can cause some fluctuations as well. All right. Paul says, "Where is Mary to say hit the like button?" Right there, right there. Come on, people, hit that button support, um, and then MF. I think that could be a profanity, but I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna have a drink while you guys are hitting like buttons and all of that fun stuff. Okay. Why should we have to learn English? I was wondering why I hear English in Montreal when going to Jean Coutu. Why don't Anglophones don't learn foreign languages? Here's an interesting thing, though. I think we're at a point now that you don't really need to learn other languages, and the reason I'm saying that is we're getting to a point where real time translation. It's already here, but it's only going to get better. Um, and it will get to a point that we will have something very similar to like a universal translator, sort of like that thing from Star Trek, where you'll be able to just talk real time to people and it'll sound like they're talking your language, because it'll translate it for you. I don't know how it's going to work, but it will translate it for you. So I think, I think it's actually really interesting that is, we're kind of at that point. Like, I've always wanted to learn French, like, but I've just never been able to get around to it. And now I'm at a point where I'm like, oh, hello, AI. I don't need to learn French. Although JJ is slowly teaching me words in chat every so often. Here's one here. Villeneuve. Villeneuve. Okay. I probably really messed that up. I can even mess it up if you spell it phonetically for me. Trust me. If there's a way to mess it up, give you an idea. When I was a teenager, I was in Sea Cadets. And so I decided to get in the band. I didn't really play any instruments, but I wanted to get in the band. So they got me to play the bass drum. I, no word of a lie, I could be out of step, even though I was the one keeping the step with the drum. Cause it's going like, like right, right, left, right. And I'd be going left, left, right. I could actually be out of step, even though I was the ones. And a few of my bandmates were like, how can you even do that? How? But I found a way. I found a way. Uh, Pawn o Trumbull. There we go. Money speaks all languages. Oh, yes. Money is a universal language for sure. Let's see here. Larry's saying volume is a huge problem with mongers. DJCO price range differs 30 to 50 bucks every day, 3 to 5 share volume per day. Oh, Mountain Fire. Okay. I saw MF and I was thinking it might be something that Samuel L. Jackson is famous for saying, but okay, I got it. That's hilarious. Hard V at the end. Uh-oh. Villeneuve. I'm trying. I might be a lost cause, JJ. Let's see. Payday today bought 52 shares of ENCL this morning, about 1,000 Canadian. Nice. Let's hope we get some oil moving up. Let's get the oil moving up for Tim. Whoops. Here we go. Ian says, I'm looking forward to auto-translate technology. Yeah. Well, yeah, especially, like, I don't know, how is your Spanish, Ian? Because I know you spend a lot of time, you know, down there in, is it, I think it's Colombia. And Colombia, I think it's Spanish. Now, I could be completely wrong. Maybe they have, maybe there's another language like a Colombianese, but I'm pretty sure most of it is Spanish. Let's see. RD says, I think there is a good timing to buy XIU, 60 biggest comps in Canada. Is there a dip with the CAD? Ah, that's interesting. I think right now we're probably going to see the Canadian dollar, I think, is going to come down a bit more because we're still going to need rate cuts. And the US is not looking like they're going to need, that they're going to be doing that much rate cutting. They might do one this year, maybe March, but I don't think we're going to see many more than that. Ian says, going go buy bank to Ian sell and RMAX with dividends tomorrow. Nice. Like nerd sound plus DV. So nerd of. Okay. All right. Yeah, guys. Let's see. You guys don't have day trade limits on small accounts, right? No, that's the thing. There are no, I've never run into any kind of limit at all. The only limit, of course, is being up here. You can't trade in your registered account. Well, your TFSA, you can do it in your RRSP. Let's see. That was actually not a bad, okay. Hard to get the pronunciation correct, but 0.0 trembles was not even close. Okay. Yeah, I know. Let's see. Tim says, I don't buy iShares because Larry Fink annoys me. Okay, fair enough. Ian says, my Spanish is good enough to talk with friends, but I have trouble at restaurants. Okay, fair enough. All right. Bill says, our day trade limits are different. They're not directed at small accounts. They're directed at tax harvesting. There we go. Holy banana bread. Whew. All right, guys. Oh, we can take our final look at the market now. I should have all of the data. So let's zip on up here. We'll start with the TSX. So we did finish in the green, but look at this. Our last hour, we did dip down a little bit. We had a red final hour. So, you know, could that mean a red day tomorrow? It might. So definitely something to think about. Oh, guys, I just saw over here, we got ourselves a super. So that's one of the, that puts the bomb up to 6. That's one of the 4 for the market close on Friday. And of course, Jonathan has just taken that title of the GOAT. Jonathan is our new, he's our first opening GOAT. He's our opening GOAT. We'll leave it at that. Da bomb. Yeah. Let's see. Are REITs considered defensive investments, generally speaking, during economic uncertainties or recessions? Not really. I wouldn't say that they're defensive. I mean, because if you look at the last bear market, I mean, the REITs came down pretty well in that. But also keep in mind, though, we also had rate hikes at the same time. So REITs are normally a little bit better than they were in the last recession, but I wouldn't really consider them defensive. They're not my first choice when it comes to defensive investments. Let's see. Artie, do you guys put vanilla in your banana bread recipe? Walnuts dose it for me. That's a good question. Why not? Vanilla is good in anything, I think. All right. Let's see. Can you use margin for Canadian ETFs like VDY? JJ saying you can. You could even buy leverage products like USCL and ENCL. Nice. All right. Back over to closing the market. We got distracted with Jonathan, but that's fine. Jonathan's awesome. Yeah, so we did have a red candle to end the day. We'll have to see how that translates out tomorrow. Over on the S&P 500, same thing, red candle at the end of the day. They did finish the day up, though, 1.83%. NASDAQ, same thing. It looks like everybody had a bit of a red candle here. We'll have to see about the Dow Jones in a minute. NASDAQ finished up 2.31. Dow Jones finished up 1.65. And we got same candle. So yeah, the entire market kind of was like retracting a little bit towards the end of the day. Gold finished, not finished. Gold is still going. Gold's up 0.68%. Silver 2.48. WTI sitting there nicely, up 3%. That's not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. And Bitcoin up 3.4. Ethereum up 6.78. Loving it, loving it. So we've had a pretty good green day. And we've already talked about who is up, but let's take a look and see who has not been doing so well today. All right, so we got Dollarama's down 1.32%. Aritzia is down a bit. Empire, Torlamine is down. Okay, interesting, because oil's up. I wouldn't have expected Torlamine to be down. Air Canada is almost down 3%. So yeah, that's pretty big. Yeah, so we got a few down companies, for sure. All right, let's head on over to the US heat map. And let's see if we get any any big ones that are down over here. AbbVie is down 2.39. Let's see if there's anybody else that's really standing out. Well, Vistra 0.79. Love it, love it, love it. Yeah, for the most part, most of the stocks that we mostly follow, at least from the Canadian side, are doing okay. Well, Lululemon is down 3.11%. So, sorry, I don't know why I do that. When it's 3.11, I want to say 3.11 for some reason. And then, of course, crypto looking good. Everything is in the green. It's looking fantastic. I'm loving it for sure. All right. Let's see here. Whoops. Jay says healthcare is considered defensive and consumer staples. Yeah. Well, healthcare, you got to look at this. When you're looking at a defensive stock, here's what you got to ask about the business. Are they products that even in a recession, we're still going to have a big demand for? So when you're looking at healthcare, yeah, it's not like all of a sudden, if we go in a recession, people don't stop getting sick. Actually, people might get more sick in a recession. Other things like, for example, the railroads, we still need the supply chain. We're not going to stop moving stuff around. Some of your consumer staples, so things, for example, food, Loblaws will be fine in a recession. People are still going to eat. They may eat a little bit less. So maybe their profit will come down a tiny bit, but they'll still be fine. They're still going to have a good source of, of people coming in and buying food. So that's kind of one of those things when you're looking at what is considered a good defensive stock, and Dollarama is, even though they're down today, Dollarama is another really good recession stock. Because when you think about it, people who are in a situation where their money gets incredibly tight, well, they're going to head over to things like Dollarama. They'll go buy some cheap stuff at Dollarama, opposed to sometimes even taking business away from Walmart, because, but keep in mind too, with Dollarama, a lot of times some of the cheap stuff you buy, it is really cheap, and you might have actually been better off buying a slightly better version at Walmart in some cases. In other cases, like, a lot of the holiday decorations and things like that, I think are absolutely fantastic, coming out of like Dollarama. So, just one of those things I like to sort of put in. All right. Now, guys, just give me one more second here. I want to come back over here to Blossom again. Let me see here. I'm going to refresh this page here. Blossom likes to send out this thing at the here's somebody asking for a portfolio review request. Oh, that's Brandon Brevis is actually doing that, where you can put in requests, and they're every so often they're reviewing a couple of Blossom users over on the thing. But I'm wondering here, guys, I'm just wondering if we can, let me take a look here. Yeah, here we go. So this here, over here on Blossom, what I'm keeping is actually the 0 to 100K challenge here. So that way there, we can actually take a look. And now I haven't updated it yet with the new stuff that I've got this month, but this gives you a general idea of what we have here. Everything from BAM, CNR, CNQ, Fortis, Pizza, Bird Construction down here. So yeah, I should update this like before the next stream. So if we do a Friday live stream, I should have this updated by then. But yeah, this is just kind of neat. It's something I can do. And you can also have your watch list, all of that fun stuff. This, guys, for those of you who joined late, this is the desktop version of Blossom. So this is currently in beta. Not a lot of people have access to it yet. I think just the pro users, the ambassadors. Also, I think the people who own shares or who bought or invested into Blossom, I think they have access to. But yeah, this is going to be really, really, really cool. I can't wait to sort of see. Oh, I love the fact that I can write a note using the keyboard. For me, that's something I love. Going back will delete your post. That's okay. That's okay. I didn't actually write anything yet. So this is going to be fantastic. Let's see what other things they currently. Whoa, guys, don't do that. Seeing what other things they have active here. How do I get this? There we go. Come on. Oh, there we go. I just had to click it instead of drag. Yeah, I'm wondering if they have. Maybe they do, and I just haven't figured it out yet. Let's just take a look here. Oh, these are all the notifications. Oh, Avinash followed me. I try to follow people back as soon as they follow me over there on Blossom. So, it's a thing. It's a thing. I'm looking for. Ooh, here's insights. Oh, that means that it hasn't. They don't have it yet. All right. I don't think they have. Oh, okay, because those are grayed out. That's probably why. Maybe. Yeah, all of that's grayed out. They don't have any of that. What can we do? What can we do? All right, yeah. This is kind of neat. Kind of neat here. All right. And I can't do that yet either. Beta. What can I say? But I am excited. Once they get all of the bugs and all of the stuff working on it, it's going to be pretty darn good. Anything else I can do in here other than oh, look, there's some of my posts. I did a post on uranium and all of this stuff. Yeah, there we go. Nice. I can see it all. All right, that's kind of good. Cool. All right, let's see. You got it. Tabernac. I got it. All right. You're making me swear in French, JJ. Making me swear in French. Ian says, how do I find you on Blossom? I thought I was following you, but I am not. Well, yeah, on Blossom, if you do a search on the @ Mountain Finance, you should be able to find me. All right, there you go. Awesome. And I don't know how I'm not sure how I find that again. As I said, they're still getting this all figured out. What is this happy thing? Oh, it's I'm a new user. How do I use Blossom? All right, fantastic. Anyway, it's the desktop, and once it gets all going, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. All right. You found me. You have to stretch it out. Gosh dang it. I know. All right. So okay, so it's like all right. Tabernac. There we go. Oh, oh boy. Yeah. Watch me get demonetized for swearing in French. I know it. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. All right, guys. If you got your final questions, we're hitting that time. Doesn't mean that we're leaving right away. If you guys got a lot of questions, we'll keep going. But yeah, we're almost at that hour point. So if you got your final questions, drop them in. Those are always appreciated. Oh, those are so good. Definitely good. All right. Next week is going to be so fun. It's kind of interesting. One of the things I am thinking about is just how this is all going to unroll. So, um, I think uh, next week's market close on Wednesday, I think is going to be very interesting. I think we'll have a ton to talk about for sure. Um, All right. Okay. Ian says, if you follow me, bring me up on the screen. What do you think of my portfolio? All right. Let's see if we can find Ian. Let's see if we can find. All right. I'll go to home. How do I get rid of that? Just click on the down arrow. Okay. All right. Following. I'm following Coop. Let's see. SG. All right. Now, how can I search though? Do we have a search function here, guys? Guys, they got to give me a search function. All right. I don't think I have a search function here. That's my problem. That's my problem. Ooh, I have an idea. If I go to, it's giving me a code. I was hoping it gave it to me in the other person's, but here's Coop. I don't know who this is. We're not, apparently all Coop invests in is Bitcoin ETFs. So interesting. Yeah, at Sask under Ian. Let me try something. Let's see here. I'm gonna go back home. Application error. Uh-oh. All right. Uh-oh. Guys. Uh-oh. I think I broke it. I think I broke Blossom. Oh no. All right. Well, here's something. All right. It's broken. It's not working. Here's what I will say. And Ian, this is a great idea. This is your idea. Those of you who do have Blossom profiles, maybe what we can do is what if you want me to review your Blossom profile, so your portfolio, we could always, like, maybe on the market closes, we can do one of those every market close. So if you guys want to, so for now, and this here isn't working, but I can always screenshot it and pull it up so that we can share it on the screen. So obviously, only if you want, and you're okay with everybody on the air seeing your, because it'd be like a live review of your portfolio. But yeah, we can totally do that over there. We'll pull them off of Blossom, and that'd be a lot of fun. And one of the things I do like, guys, I don't know yet if this will. Nope, it's still having an error. They might be doing stuff on the back end too at the moment. But one of the things I do like is that we can get to a point where, what the heck am I thinking? Oh yeah, we can get to a point where when you pull it up, everything is relative. So for example, it's not going to say, like, if Ian has $100,000 invested in Canoe, you guys will just see that he has maybe 5% of his portfolio in Canoe. I'm using that as an example. I don't actually know if Ian has Canoe or not, but it shows everything relative. It doesn't actually show the financial values, so you don't have to worry about that. Now you will, when you look at your own profile, you'll see the dollars. I think you can actually toggle between the dollar view and the regular view. All right. Oh, guys, we got ourselves. We got two things, right? We got number 7. Bang. Oh boy, we're getting close. That fuse is getting shorter. On the bomb. And somehow I think the FBI is now listening to our chat because of what I just said. But that's okay. But anyway, guys, Kiev and Kaz has become our new GOAT. So Jonathan is no longer the GOAT. It's now Kiev and Kaz. Thank you very much, Kiev and Kaz. All right. And that, guys, we're 2 away from a Friday scream. I was going to say a Friday scream. Yeah, there we go. Stream, a Friday stream. Let's see. Let's see your thoughts on BK. Well, let's get out of the our bad area here. And we'll pull up. So BK, this of course is your Canadian bank core. So this is a split core, but they invest in the banks. So that's kind of nice. Now you'll see, guys, they have like a crazy high dividend here. So 15.596%. That's fantastic. It's monthly. Now let's take a look. Now in the last year, this has been fantastic because the banks have been doing really, really well. So these like split cores are not bad at all when the market's strong. Split cores are pretty darn awesome. Like, you're getting this upside movement. You're also getting that nice dividend. And let's just actually go in there and take a gander at the dividend. And you can see here, so it moves a little bit. So keep in mind right now, the last dividend payout was a larger one. So, that yield might actually be slightly larger than what you'll always get because these will move a little bit. I've noticed that with some of the split cores, it really depends on a whole bunch of factors. Now, with split cores as well, so this one here seems to have done really good. Like I don't see any missed dividends here. Sometimes though, they will run into situations where you will run into missed dividends. That is kind of normal. You have to kind of realize you will get it occasionally. Sometimes when the market gets really bad, like some of the split cores during the pandemic were dropping. Once the bear market part of the pandemic, not the bull market, because the initial part of the pandemic, guys, we had a bull market. Then we went into a bear market. And then during that bear market, there were some missed dividends. And some split cores had suspended their dividends quite a bit during that time. But BK is one of the better ones. Them, and I also like ENS. So ENS, that's the one that basically just invests in Enbridge. So they're also a split core, and they do pretty well as well. But BK, I got no complaints over BK. So yeah, it's not a bad split core. But as I said, just watch how they behave during the bear market. Now, well, let's actually take a look. Let's actually look and see how they did during the bear market last time around. So the bear market was basically during 2022. All right, August, September, October. So, okay, that part of 2022, they were fine. Let's go to this part here. Let's see here, 2022. Oh, sorry, I went the wrong way. There we go. This way. There we go. 2022, January, February, March, April, May, June, July. Okay, they did okay. And that to me is impressive. So there's another positive point for BK for you, Cowboy. They did not suspend their dividend at all during that last bear market. So that's pretty good. All right, Ian does have Canoe. All right, that's cool. That's awesome. I like to hear that. Yeah, Canoe is one of my favorites. And there are people out there that say, oh, you can get much better yields. But the thing is, and guys, let me show you this. All right, EIT. All right. So right now they're sitting at 1534. That's fantastic for Canoe. But I want to go back in time. So we're going to go all the way back to the pandemic. So here's your pandemic drop. And you can see that. And they recovered well, and they went into the bear market, the bull market that followed. One day I will get it right every single time. But they went into this bull market. Now, once we got to the turn going into 2022, so right up about here, that there is where the bear market has. Now, they still went up a little bit further. They kept going up pretty much until let's go right about there. There's where they peaked. All the way up into April. Then they did falter a little bit, but that's it. Just that little bit right there. For a couple of months, they faltered. And what ends up happening is that Canoe is well managed. So because of that, as this is happening, they're shifting their fund a little bit. They're bringing in a bit more defensive investing. They're also adding a bit more fixed income. And then they got them sideways. And even during the rate hikes, the aggressive rate hikes, they kept them nice and steady. Of course, once things turned around, so, and we're talking, when I say turn around, I mean, once we basically got to the point where we weren't cutting, we weren't, when we got to the pause, pretty much the pause, you can see they began right away, and they've done well. And now they've faltered a little bit recently, but that's normal. That's normal. So they've done really fantastic. And this is the thing. Now, yeah, El Mayo says, I don't like Canoe's fee. Understandable. But here's how I look at Canoe. Let's suppose they didn't have a fee. Suppose Canoe was just a straight up stock, a regular old stock that was moving like this and was giving you, a solid, in this case here, 7.879% dividend. So you got a nice monthly dividend, 10 cents a share. You got some movement here. That's not bad. If they didn't have a fee, would I invest in them if this was a regular stock? Well, yeah, I would. There's nothing wrong with what I've seen. Now, if we go further out, you will see that they, at longest point, they used to very, very much be just an income stock. But they've kind of grown beyond that. But, for the longest time they were. And if they ever move back to a completely straight income stock, well, then, yeah, there's definitely better options. But while they've got this growth going on, that's making them very, very attractive for sure. But yeah, I always look at it this way, because some people will be like, I've seen people that, and I have no word of a lie here, I've seen people who have loved, whether it be an ETF or a stock, and they didn't know it had a fee, and they loved the return they were getting. They thought it was fantastic, and then they finally found out there's a fee. And they're like, oh, that's too high that I'm paying. I don't like that anymore. So I always look at it that way, because the fee's it's already calculated in this, all of the back end. And, you've got, you are paying for that manager, right? You're paying for that, what Canoe is doing. And that's the thing. You do, nothing is ever free per se. And, you might say, and let me put it this way. You might say, well, I like regular stocks because they have no fees. Okay, fair enough. So if you look at a regular stock, guess what? They have overhead. They're paying their employees. They have fees. They're just not called fees. They're called the cost of doing business. And all of that is calculated before you get your dividend. That all comes out of it. So you are paying an invisible fee with every single stock. It doesn't matter what the stock is. You are paying something. There is a fee. It's just that, when they actually have it listed and it's called a fee and you see what it is, that tends to change people's mind. Now, fees are still, here's where fees to me are interesting. Is if you have a pair of stocks or a pair of ETFs that are giving you the exact same thing and giving you the exact same performance, but, let's just say maybe not even the exact same performance, but close performance. But if one of them has a higher fee, so for example, with a Bitcoin ETF, if you're looking at two Bitcoin ETFs that are spot Bitcoin ETFs, and one of them has a higher fee, well, yeah, it makes sense to grab the one with a lower fee, because you should, over time, have a larger return. It may not be much. It may not be a big difference, but when you chart that out over 10 years, this tiny little difference at the beginning does become much bigger. That's where I worry about fees, is I always like to look at them in comparison to others that are giving me that same service, because everything does have a hidden fee. It's, it's just the way it is. It's the way it is. All right. Ian says, El Mayo, I own Canoe for some diversity. When I bought it at $12, the return on dividends was higher. Now I'm holding, waiting for a dividend bump or more gains. Okay. Yeah. Now, so many people have been waiting for a Canoe dividend bump, and it is possible, but I've been waiting for a long time, so I never hold my breath. If it ever happens to me, it'll be a sweet surprise, but, a lot of times what they do is, they have some of their year-end redemption stuff. They have a lot of stuff like that they do to sorta instead of bumping the dividend up, they tend to save it, and you end up getting different bonuses. But the problem is, most of these redemption type things, if you're holding in a registered account, you kind of get gypped because you don't get like if they're going to increase your adjusted cost base, so that way if you sold it, you'd get less taxes, less capital gains, even though technically you still have more because you didn't actually pay as much as they're saying you paid. Um, you know, to me, that's it's a good little gift, but it only helps people who are in a non-registered account. And with Canoe, and you got all the foreign income, and you got everything from eligible dividends to foreign income to return of capital in there. I just don't like to hold it outside of a registered account for that. Let's see. Almeo says, yes, but you pay the cost of doing business and the ETF fee if there's a fee. Well, yeah, that's just another part of doing business, right? Um, I was just making the point that you are paying fees on everything. And, in some situations, like, let me give you a great example. Um, when I know somebody who knows nothing and they just say, I want a portfolio that does everything for me, that I don't even have to look at it. In a case like that, setting them up with a handful of I was going to say DVDs of the ETFs, and especially, and here's the thing, when you're setting up something like that, if you're setting it up for somebody, I will almost always go with passive, so passive indexes, because that way they're passively managed and they have a lot lower management fees. Stuff like VFV, XEQT. XEQT has a very low fee, so it is nice. Like I think XEQT, I think the fees around 0.2, or well, let's just say, and keep in mind, I also don't even look at the management fee per se. I always want to look at the management expense ratio, because that will include everything else that you're missing out on. So just something to ponder on. Jonathan says, I held some stock with a financial manager. They decided to charge me a fee of 1% of the value of my stock. I decided to transfer the stock to a brokerage. Choices. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Here is that thing, right? I have known people that they've had financial advisors that manage their account for them, and they were being hit with some crazy fees for that. And the thing is when you're looking at like a financial advisor, some of them can be really bad. Like I've seen financial advisors where they're taking 30% of your profits, in addition to a flat rate, as well. So then, whether or not if you're losing, you're not paying that 30%, of course, but you're still losing all the time. So it's pretty interesting. Let's see. Ian says, Canoe, if it hits $20 and no dividend bump, I will probably sell. I'm up 18% this year plus dividends. I'm happy with it. Nice. Max says, I got started into XEQT. Yeah. I mean, XEQT is a wonderful ETF. You can't beat it for diversification. Larry says, the fees are ridiculous. And for what? Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. I mean, you have to look. It depends on what it is. Like, I don't like to pay a big fee on an ETF. But in some cases, like let's just say, for example, let's look at the retirement portfolio. If you're building a retirement portfolio that you want to create with income, so you're looking for a very income-focused retirement portfolio, you want to have a TFSA just stuffed with income coming out of it, there's going to be fees on there. There's no way around it. Like, because you're starting to get into a lot of covered call funds, um, and that, they're going to have fees. There's just no way around it. But that's kind of it's the nature of the beast. It's the nature of the beast. So what can I say? What can I say? All right. All right. Whew. Time for another sip of coffee here. All right, so coming up on the channel, we're actually having some fun. The next video is on Friday. The channel members get to see it a day earlier. So a year ago, I pulled back the curtains and let you guys sort of see what I make on YouTube. So I'm doing it again. We're going to do 2024 this time around. So that'll be dropping on Friday. So you'll have a good opportunity to see behind the curtain, all of that fun stuff. I think I'm pretty transparent when it comes to the channel anyway. But so that's dropping on Friday. And guys, we have, and here, let me pull up the actually the Discord. Here we go. Over on the Discord, by the way, we do have what am I on here? Oh yeah, no, I'm here. No, I'm not. There we go. I was actually in an email. I was in a mail. But let me pull up the schedule here. Coming up right here, January 21st, we're bringing back a battle. I know a couple of you said, I want a battle. Well, one of the most popular battles that I ever did on the channel a ways back was Brookfield Asset Management versus Brookfield Corporation. We're bringing them back for a rematch. Because I'll tell you, back then, Brookfield Asset Management won, hands down. Hands down, they won. But we've got some fundamentals now behind them. And it's not a walk. It's not a walk in the park for Brookfield Asset Management now, because Brookfield Corporation has absolutely been kicking butt the last year. So we're going to have that. We're going to do a rematch there on January 21st. So next Tuesday, that will be out. I'm looking forward to that. So it'll be another battle video finally. It's been a while. It's been a really long time. Also next week, guys, we have the channel members live stream. So that'll be next Thursday night. I'll be reaching out to the channel members pretty darn soon to see, to get some ideas for what you guys want me to cover, because I always cover something in that video. So I can't wait. That's coming out. And then January 24th is our next big deep dive. The vote's still currently going on, but it clearly looks like CNR is winning. They're way ahead of everybody else. But if you haven't voted yet, certainly head over to the community tab and give it a vote. Give it a vote. I don't think anybody can beat CNR at this point, but heck, you never know. If enough people went over, they could certainly beat CNR. With that group that are in there, these are companies this time around for the vote that have not had a deep dive in a while. So in other words, they did not get a deep dive at all last year. So I do want to do all of them. All of them but one. So how I'm going to be doing this is the next vote. So if CNR gets this one, well, the next vote will be 3 options. And then the following vote will be 2 options. Whoever does not, who fails all of those, will not get the deep dive. But so basically 3 out of 4 will be getting deep dives out of that. So we'll get that way there. We can get those done before the summer, which will be fantastic. Lisa is in the house with a hello, everyone. It's always good to see you. Always good. I mean, you're late. You're a little late, but there's always the replay, of course. I had I have one more thing. So right now, still working back and forth with Evolve, because I sent them one copy of the first deep dive that I did for them. I'm waiting for their feedback on it. They're going to send it to me. I may have to refilm, because apparently they wanted to update some data on their website. And I think I pulled some of the old data off their website. So I may have to refilm a bit of it and send it back to them. But those Evolve deep dives, those will be coming out soon enough. But as I said before, they're not going to affect any of the regular content. They're going to be in addition to the regular content. So when that one is done, and guys, when that one is done, I don't know how much of a preview I'll be able to give to the shareholders, the channel members. So that might be one that when it's done, I'll have to find just a place to fit it in. I might I'll try. Like if I like, for example, if it came back today and they said, okay, go ahead with it, I would probably do like probably a Saturday release at this point. Yeah. So anyway, I'll figure it out and I will do my best. I will do my best to give the channel members a little bit of a preview if I can. But that might be the one exception. That might be the one exception. It's hard to say. It really depends on when they give it back to me and how fast, because I have apparently I have 60. Is it 60 days? Yeah, I think I have 60 days to get all 3 done. And we've already, you know, this initial process has already eaten up about 15 days. So, yeah, it'll be fun. But the nice thing is, with the other 2, because I'm doing 3 in total, it'll go a lot smoother. So that is kind of cool. Let's see. Lisa had a date with her dog. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. I don't have a dog, but like I have 3 cats, so you know, maybe they trump. Although, yeah, they're fun. They're fun. All right, guys. I think we're at the end. All right, we only did 2 supers today, so we're not going to get a deep dive. Or sorry, deep dive. We're not going to get a market close on Friday. But this weekend, I'll give you guys a chance to see if you want me to do an additional Monday one. That might be an interesting one because we got the inauguration. There'll definitely be lots to do, that's for sure. All right. Well, until then, guys. Whoops. I need to go big screen. Until then, guys, take care. Have a fantastic night. Oh, wait a minute. I'm on my way out and the Banana Bread Company strikes. All right. Here we go. Yeah, we just received a $2 dividend from the Banana Bread Company. So that means, the fuse has gone further on to bomb. It's up at 8. And the Banana Bread Company is now the GOAT. All right. We're there. Nice. All right. All right. That puts us at 3 of 4. And somebody really wants a Friday show. Here we go. Banana Bread Company once again. Bang, boom. Here we go. Another dividend. Holy banana bread. So guys, we got a Friday show. And that takes the bomb up to 9. Oh boy. We're getting close. And you know what? Let's just use a different goat picture this time. There we go. The Banana Bread Company is the GOAT Supreme. The Supreme Goat Meister? Something like that. All right. Whew. Oh boy. All right. Somebody's trying to trigger the fuse. All right. Kevin Kaz comes in with a super sticker. Thank you, Kevin Kaz. And that means, let's get over here. First of all, let's advance our thing to 10. Oh boy. And we've got a new goat. We have a new goat. The goats there's a lot of goats. I'm smelling a lot of goats. And then we have Paul. Paul is in with a $2 super sticker. And that means that the bomb is up to 11. Oh boy. So we got the bomb at 11. I'll give you this one, Paul. That way there we have a different goat. I need to get a third goat. Let's get a few more goats. But yeah, we have some goats. All right. Thank you guys. All right. So we do have a show on Friday. Ian saying thanks for buying a Friday show, you guys. Thanks, Banana Bread Company, says Jackie. Mary says thanks, everyone. Paul says, what does the bomb mean? The bomb, crazy hot sauce, right? Whoops, over here. When that gets to 25, I will be eating a teaspoon of it. A teaspoon of the bomb on the air, so it's very, very, very hot. A dot of this stuff is enough to make me squirm. So, yeah, that's what it means. Jonathan says, I see goats everywhere. We're going to need to get a pasture at this rate. Jackie says, thank you, Candace. Awesome live stream. Kevin Cass says, thanks, Candace. Paul says, oh no. Now you know what I have coming. You know what I have coming. All right, guys. Yeah, Da Bomb is hot sauce, I believe. Yes. It's if you've ever watched that show, Hot Ones, it's the one that breaks everyone. It's like sitting at position number 8. So, oh boy. Lisa says, I have to send you a bottle of some super hot sauce with none of that nasty astrax. I was going to say extract. Oh, yeah. Yeah. But this will be fun. This will be fun. All right, guys. It has been a fantastic afternoon. I will see you guys on Friday. So until then, enjoy the markets, find some deals. Have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you Friday. Take care, everybody.